Hello, my little goblins, and we're back at it again. And this time we got a brand new deck profile, hot off the presses, the brand new set that just dropped. And you guys might be saying, "There's no Kashtira? That sounds like a bunch of stinky poo-poo." But you know what there is? There's this little bug that we like to call Nitoria Mole Cricket. So this card's absolutely insane, and it actually makes a competitive deck for the current TCG. Now, the current TCG's meta is much different than what we currently have. You might say their meta is very oppressive too, but ours messes with our graveyards a lot, so going into this, I'm not feeling too good about it, just because Runic gets hit hard by a lot of the tournament like plays. Like they're throwing all these shufflers in the graveyard, and then you can't really get the Runic draws off, which really kind of messed the deck up pretty bad. But we're going to hope that maybe we can pull through going into doing the Mole Cricket combo, getting maybe Nitoria Beast out, which Nitoria Beast really doesn't do anything against. It does a little bit against Tearlament, but it doesn't do that much. Stops their field spell, and it pretty much stops if they're running triple tactics. It'll help stop against that. And it also does mill yourself, which is kind of nice, because putting in some more of the Runic cards in your graveyard while you have Fountain out lets you have an opportunity to draw more, which is pretty cool. But we're going to go into a combo guide first, just to explain the basic combo with the deck. The deck's obviously pretty intricate, so I don't want to, like, it would take too long to go over everything this deck can do. So we're just going to do the basic combo, show you what you should be looking for, and then we're going to get into some games. We got some pretty sweet ones. So let's get into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Hello, we're here with the combo guide, and our hand is kind of mediocre. It's pretty okay. We opened up Cricket, and we opened some Runic cards, so we cannot complain. So first things first, we are going to activate Smiting Storm. And the reason why I like doing this first is because if your opponent has like an Ash or something, I'd rather them just Ash this. Now, you're going to see I sent Kelbeck, but I will say a lot of games I would have probably just sent Nitoria Sunflower. I sent Kelbeck because we're playing against a bot, but if it's against a real player, most of the time you don't want to mill them because they're most likely going to be playing Tearlament, and it's not very fun for them. The reason why Kelbeck is in the deck is it's a hand trap, because it lets you bounce a card. The mill actually isn't horrible for us though, but it just, with everyone playing the shufflers and everyone playing Tearlament, it's just not a good idea. That's why I only run one of them. We just do it for Keldo, for the Keldo search. Yeah, we're just going to activate for the hell of activating. We hit. So this is the thing that's crazy about the trap card. The trap card is not once per turn. Neither is the spell. So this is already going to be crazy. So our OK hand just went crazy mode right now. I'm going to show you the basic, what you're supposed to do basically first, before we do anything else. So just activate this, it's fine. Now we activate the Mole Cricket. It's fine, boom boom, tribute. We're going to summon Camella. Now Camella's going to activate, and that is going to send our last. And we're going to grab our last blessing. Okay, so I'm going to show you the basic combo, and then I'm going to extend on it, because our hand is insane now. So our basic combo would be, we'd summon this, and then you can go into this. Go on Nitoria Beast. Beautiful. Then Mole Cricket comes back because you summoned a Nitoria Beast from the extra deck. So now we can activate Nitoria Blessing again. And we can bring back this card. And we can go into Stardust Warrior. Just gonna let us draw a card. Beautiful. And now we can activate this card again. And remember, even so, if we didn't have another one of these, since we have another runic card in hand, we could have literally just gone into Coral Dragon there, and then special summon Gary from the deck. And then you could have also done this that way, right? So you can go into Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur, yummy yummy. And then we're just going to activate this. Special summon. And we are going to be summoning a Hugin just to protect our field. And then we're going to activate the field spell to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Ba-bum. And we also have Runic Tip, which is like really insane. Like you guys don't get how crazy of a board this is, but like pretend we didn't have our one of Garnet in our hand. Even then, it's not even that big of a deal. The Toria Mole Cricket would be able to search for the Sunflower. Hey guys, in hindsight of recording this, I just realized that we could have actually had a better board. And the way we could have had a better board was instead of going into that Stardust Warrior, we could have just gone into Coral Dragon and then special summon Gary. We could have went into Baron de Fleur with that. And then on top of doing that, we would have drew these extra cards. And then we could have used that last special summon on summoning our Sunflower. This would have gave us an extra 2 monster negates, an Omni negate, and it would have gave us permanent spell negates. So I think that would have definitely been a better board. So just we're just going to get to the games now. But obviously you guys can see how powerful of a board state that you can make with the deck. Hello, we're here with game number 1, and our hand is looking blessed. Victoria blessed. The only thing this card ends up in my opening hand every fucking game. I'm not even kidding you. Maybe not every game, but it ends up in my hand a lot. It's really annoying, actually. So, we're comboing off. Like, remember I said, you always pitch that to the graveyard. You grab Blessing. We have double Blessing, which is pretty good. And there we go. Notoria Beast. Boom. So here, technically, I could have just made another Omni Negate. But I just decided to go with the 2 monster negates. So what Mole Cricket is, so even if he doesn't summon a monster that has over 2200 attack, right here I have at least 2 monster negates, which I think is a little bit more relevant because, dude, you play against so many tier limit, it's crazy. I think that beats 1 Omni negate, especially since we have permanent spell negate anyway. So like, we're really just protecting against evenly at that point. But yeah, we're going to use Runic Tip end phase to add Runic Freeze and Curse. Good thing we did because Super Poly was on top. And now we have Flashing Fire, which is a pop, and Freeze and Curse, which is a monster negate. He's going to activate Terraforming, we negate it, and our opponent is going to concede because they can't handle the hot smoke that we have. By the way, also never place Notoria Beast in defense mode. I did that just out of just like spamming defense. You should not put that in defense because normally you put things in defense to stop against, like to protect yourself against Lightning Storm or OTK, but most of the time they're not going to be able to do that if you're just perma-negating every spell anyway. So I would suggest not to put that in defense. Hello, we're here with game number 2, and I just want to point out too, like a lot of the games I play are like, I would say 99% of the people I played against last night were tier limit. So there's like one deck that I played that wasn't tier, which is kind of crazy. Just everyone's on the deck. But this person, I think they were still on tier limit. I could be wrong. No, never mind. This is the lovely Labyrinth deck, which I will say our deck actually does pretty well against, right? Our deck actually does pretty well, and we had a horrible opener. Our opener was absolutely atrocious, and I'm actually kind of happy with our hand still. So we're able to pop this stupid field spell. So this takes no advantage. And then he gets Mommy out. And then I'm able to pop Mommy immediately before he even activates any of the recovery. And then boom, boom, draw, draw. Thank you. Now, set 4 is a little scary, but it's really not the end of the world. I will say this, I probably should have activated, because it's a little suspicious why he went to kill this. Like, I guess it's not that suspicious, but like, I didn't realize he was actually trying to go for my fountain, which isn't that big of a deal to me because I don't really have runic cards anyway to like really shuffle them. So I should have just Hugin on his end step, but I wanted to go for the draw. Probably greedy, but I got a Solemn, so that's probably has to be worth something, right? But remember Notoria, the Notoria Mole Cricket? Since he has the highest attack, I actually get to summon 2 cards out of my deck, which is kind of funny. Boom, boom. This card's gonna activate. He's gonna activate. I was actually thinking about using the Shuffler. I decided not to though. Add Blessing. Blessing activates. And yeah, since we play Notoria cards, you know, where easily can go into other Notoria cards, I actually was going to go into this immediately, but it was in my opening hand again. You know? Maybe not my opening hand. I think I drew into it. But I draw my one-ofs every fucking game, so it was actually supposed to be in the deck. I would have immediately gone into it. So I was happy he let me do that, and now he tries to compulse this. And I'm like, nah, fam, that ain't happening. He immediately quits. Hello, we're here with game number 3, and we're playing against Pain Shuba, who is a champion of the world, because this is one of the few people, even though they ash me, which makes me a little naughty, a little angry. Pro tip here. I'm going to go with another pro tip here. If you have Notoria Mole Cricket in your opening hand, I'd probably say it makes more sense to run out maybe the Runic Tip first to get Ash. You know what? It's really not that the end of the world though, because remember what I said about Mole Cricket? If he special summons from the extra deck, I can special summon the Mole Cricket from the graveyard. So it really does have a purpose. So if he did do anything crazy, I can get some negates up and some protection. But I got these 2 evenly matches, so I don't know. I think this is probably fine. He is playing a cool deck. He's playing a new deck, the Goaty deck, which I will be playing soon too. But I do feel bad because this guy decided to play this deck in this current meta. I can only imagine how miserable he is doing it. Considering every game I was playing tier, I was probably the only person that he played against that wasn't tier. But he doesn't actually go into anything, and he just beats my ass, so I just evenly max him here. There's a really cool card he has, though. This card right here. It just keeps coming back. It seems pretty good. At least against me. So this is like the most greediest play I've ever done in my entire life. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I have the fucking Cricket in the graveyard. So if he goes into anything, I can bring back Cricket. And if he goes into anything, I bring back Cricket, I wall his attack, and then I evenly him again. So that was my mindset here. And he does go into Dragite. And here comes Cricket. Special, special. And I didn't go, the only reason I did not go into the Sunflower is because if I went into Sunflower, he had nothing, he has really no monster effects to activate right now anyway, so he kills my Cricket. I'm fine with this. I got Blessing in hand already, so my hand's stacked. Like, it's already over. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, look how many cards in my hand look compared to him. He imprims my monster, which I'm a little upset about. But my monster's still in the field, so I actually go into Draco Berserker Tenyi. He activates his card so he can synchro on my turn. I banish it, so it doesn't really happen. And now I just swing into his card. It's dead. We both die. And now it's just over. The game's over because I'm going to be able to combo off like crazy. Because, you know, this is what happens when you have a long, drawn-out game. We like the long, drawn-out games because that's when we start to shine. They start to banish more and more of their key items. It's just looking rough for our buddy here. We get another blessing. We're gonna speed this up a little. And then we go into Notoria Beast, we get our cricket back, and we pass. This is a very standard board, so he brings back his little ghosty guy, and he's pretty much screwed. And it's gonna be GG. So thank you for not being Tear Element, though. Hello, everybody. We're here with game number 4, and we're playing against Tempest, who, let me guess what deck he's playing. It's Tear Element. Woo! So our hand, by the way, was so bad that the only play I could have done was just going into this Abyss Dweller, because we had no other plays to do. So, you're welcome. He activates Foolish Burial Goods. I'm just like, I don't want to see it. He activates Haviness. By the way, you need to activate Dweller before things happen. The only reason why, if you guys want to argue, well, Fetzoid, why did you wait for Dweller for him to act? Because these decks that play Tear Element, they also run Imperm, right? If I just activate Dweller like an ape without thinking on an empty board, I could get Gammaed or I can get Impermed. I have nothing else on the board to protect the Dweller, so that's why I wait. Because if he plays this, I know he can't use Imperm on me. And if he played Imperm, I can chain Dweller. Now if he has Droplet, I'm fucked regardless, so whatever. But most of these decks aren't playing Droplet. They're playing Imperm. So that's the reason why. He sends his cards to the graveyard. Nothing's actually doing anything because, you know, I'm like, okay. So I use my Medora end step because I see he has 1 level 2 in the graveyard because he wants to bring back Meryl. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. Shuffle it back. I am not gonna have a battle. I'm not gonna have a battle phase this turn, which is a little unfortunate. He activates the Rainbow Bridge again. Unfortunate, but is what it is. We summoned Medora just to have the Shuffler on the field. If you guys are wondering, I didn't summon him for my health. I just need the Shuffler. And he's gonna add, he's just, I mean, this is dangerous for, like, very scary for me. So he summons Sharon. So I have like a 800 IQ play. It's really not that big of an IQ play. End step, I activate Medora. And again, I'm gonna shuffle away his Meryl so he can't use it for Sprite Elf. But I know for a fact this greedy fucking ape is gonna use his field spell to like destroy Bolt Dweller. Which is understandable. It makes sense, right? And this is why I'm pretty much just setting up an evenly match for my turn. So he pops. There goes that. Evenly match. Okay, cool. Neato. I got rid of 2 of his cards. Remember, our hand still sucks ass. I was actually thinking about setting this down, but this card is so bad against Tear Limit because it just like gives them effects. Because I just want to point out, because you pop a Tear Limit card, like one of the monsters, since it got destroyed by it went to the graveyard by card effect, it activates the card. So that's real cool, isn't it? Makes Flashing Fire amazing. I could Flashing Fire the Sprite Elf, but like he doesn't have a card for me to even do that. I do feel bad because this guy is playing Ice Jade Cradle. If this was just any other Tear Limit card, he'd probably just win immediately. So instead, he gets a really shitty card. Now I actually decide to actually do something here. I'm gonna go into Huggin. Huggin is going to discard the Sunflower. Grab the... This is how I looked at it. Like, The only way I was winning this game is since we're both in top deck mode. If I top deck a runic card, so I can draw 3. I go into Donner here just to deal with his Sprite Elf because I know I don't have a battle phase. And if he gets into Meryl again, I'm screwed. So this is what I do. Is this the best play? Probably not, but he special summons, attacks. I mean, if he top deck a tier element to combo off, I just lose anyway. So it's like, to me, it doesn't matter. Top deck a tier, this is all I needed. Now I'm Gucci. Summon Munin. We're gonna draw 3 here. Boom Shakalaka. We're coming back into this game. And we're healing up with Munin. Some Runic Tip. Don't you like to see them get burned out? Like, just absolutely decimated like this? Ooh. Yeah, we have a Kamala. Then we got Cricket. He summons that. So these the Notoria cards are crazy. I'm just going to point this out. So another effect that has, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can special summon a Notoria monster from the graveyard. Since I had Sunflower in the graveyard, right, I was able to just special summon it, and now I have a negate on my side of the field. So I go for the Flashing Fire, knowing he's going to activate this, right? And I'm like, okay, Notoria Sunflower, which I end up milling another one of these, which lets me get another search out of my deck. So we're in full control mode now. I also have another monster negate with this. So we're going to draw 2 and then add another card. We're pretty much netting 3 cards from that. Kind of crazy. And this is part of the reason why I really like the deck. The deck's very fun to play if you like these grinding games. Alright, this is the 5th and final game that I'm showing before we go into the recap. I'm playing against AJ, which is, I like to read that as like, AJ! He's going to max C, so I'm going to chain Hugjins to it so he gets 1 less draw because I'm using this anyway. So we're going to discard Sunflower to grab Fountain. Fountain activates. Runic Tip activates. We add Slumber. Mill. We activate Slumber. Oh man, Runic Tip feels so good. It got rid of 2 Screams, so we're probably not going to see that card, I would assume. Camilla goes to the graveyard. And remember what I said about Camilla too. Like, if I just kept Camilla on the field, like Sunflower, actually not bad. But we're not stupid idiots, so we're just gonna go into Dweller since it's clearly the smarter play. He activates Terraforming. I am just going to activate Dweller. And he's gonna chain. It's like we've seen this exact play over and over before. But it's exactly what we're doing. His whole graveyard shut down, which is nice. His cards do get a lot bigger though because of this. I feel like I should just pop this immediately, but you'll see what I end up doing. So he activates his Scream. You know, the 2 I banished 2 of them. Apparently didn't hit them all. He mills another 3. He's just going mill happy. He goes in the Unicorn. I think this is a big mistake, and I think he probably realizes that too. So you're going to see the chain link here. I'm going to pause it before the match ends here. Alright. I paused it before he conceded because he concedes immediately, and I want to show you the reason why. So, I used my 1 Medora that I had in the graveyard to shuffle back both his shufflers, right? He's going to get rid of my Runic Fountain, right? I'm pretty much going... He's going to be able to kill the Dweller, don't get me wrong. He'll kill Dweller, so he'll have his activations again. But even if I normal summon Cricket, and he activates Scream, and let's just say he hits some pretty good... Hits like all his tier limit cards. I can just shuffle them back with my Miller, and then I can full combo him with Cricket. So I think this is the reason why he rage quits and why he just concedes immediately. So I think we'll get to the recap. You'll see what I'm talking about, though. Boom, 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 boom. Goodbye. Hello, welcome to the recap. If you enjoy the content, please hit subscribe and also turn on that notification bell. Down below in their description, we also have a Discord where you guys can join, and we host weekly tournaments. So it's pretty fun to do if you're not part of a community, or if you are part of a community and you just want to get some more tournament experience in. I think it's pretty fun. We have some pretty good competitive people in there too, so it's good to get to your practice up too. So other than that, how did I like the deck and how did it perform? It performed, I'm gonna say, like 60% win rate. I climbed from plat 5 to plat 3, so I was definitely winning above over. The problem is it was very dependent on coin flip, which I feel like is almost every deck right now. If you're not winning coin flip and you're playing something that is, let's say, not tier limit, you're gonna have a very hard time climbing. At least that's what it felt like. Because your opponents will make mistakes and stuff like that, and you'll still just lose just because they set up too much that your deck can't handle. The games I went second, and the thing is, every game I went second, I never opened evenly. But I would imagine if I opened evenly going second, that would probably help a little bit. You would still have, the thing that's annoying is you would still have to bait out the tier limit like crime negate, but after that you'd be able to just negate, like nuke their whole board with evenly. So yeah, so let's talk about the power level of this deck before we move any further. I'm going to say this deck is a solid 7.5. If you're wondering why I didn't rate it any higher, it's just because this deck would get exceedingly great, right? If they banned out the Ishizu cards, this deck gets like 10 times better. And the reason why is because the shufflers really hurt this deck. Because you're running all these runic cards, and the fact that most people are running these shufflers and they're able to just like, oh yeah, my card's in the graveyard, I can just shuffle and get rid of your whole draw. And the draws that you get from the runic are very, very important. Like, you want to get at least like 1 or 2 good draws off of them. If you're getting none because your opponent just has all their shufflers in the graveyard, you're gonna have like a really tough time winning the match or even coming back. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, like I said, the deck's good. It's just not gonna, like, in this current meta where everyone's playing D-Shifter, they're playing all these banish, remove from graveyard effects, DD Crow, like it's just not gonna work out too well. All right. Also, I'm also gonna point out that this deck actually does have a decent time, like a pretty easy time going into Abyss Dweller, because of the Ishizu cards that we have in our deck, which is actually pretty nice. So on a tier list, I'd probably say this is probably going to end up being like either, I'd probably say probably just a rogue deck. If this ends up being like a tier 3 deck, I'd be surprised, just because it has that major weakness that gets hit pretty hard. Yeah, it's probably going to be a road deck for now. But like I said, another reason too, in the TCG, Runic Destruction is a card, like these cards are all like unlimited. And in Master Duel, they're all semi-limited because we had a toxic format where people were playing Stun Runic and it caused these cards to get banned or semi-limited. So I don't even think these are that problematic, right? This current day and age, these cards could probably just come right off the ban list. That all being said, I would say this. If you guys enjoy playing a control deck, like a true control deck, like true to the sets, because most of the times you're not beating them by attacking them. Most of the times you're running them out of resources, and maybe you kill them by attacking them, or you just mill out, maybe you banish some of their key cards. But if you really like playing a control deck, I am someone who has played Control for a very long time in multiple card games. So I do really like this archetype, and it really resonates with me. So if you do like that type of play style, I think this is a deck that you'll be pretty happy to make. Is it the best Nitoria deck? I am not sure. Only time will tell. I'll have to mess around with other archetypes, but I think it is going to be one of the good ones. I think it's definitely going to be a very solid one. It's very good in the TCG, but again, the TCG has a completely different meta than us. They don't have to deal with Tearlament. So, who knows? That all being said, any cards that you would replace on here, the only thing I will say, Evenly Match makes it so if you do open Evenly Match, you have a high chance, or a much better chance, of beating someone going second. Now, what I would say this card's interchangeable with is probably Triple Tactics. So Triple Talent Tactics is if you wanted to just be like, no, I want my deck to be insane going first and that's it, and still be like okay going second, then replace it with Triple Tactics and it's probably better. I should have tested some games out like that, but I just didn't get around to it. The Evenly Matches did help quite a bit, but like I said, I never drew it going second, which kind of stunk. Which I probably wish I just had Triple Tactics at that point, right? So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below and what you want to see next. What I have planned is I definitely want to... This bird is going off like crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear it in this video. I guess I'll end up hearing it. But, but what I have planned is I want to do something with the new structure deck. I want to do something with Goaty. And then we could look at like maybe different variations of Nitoria and stuff, because I did like playing with this little fucking insect. So I hope you guys enjoyed, but goodbye.